none other than Professor Vikas Bansode, sir. He has completed his BSL LLB degree from Modern Law College, Pune, and has completed LLM from Department of Law from Pune University. He has been NSS program officer since last 3 years. He is pursuing his PhD in information law from Symbiosis International University. He has worked as an NSS volunteer in all college years as he was student. He is currently working as an assistant professor in VP's Vasantrao Pawar Law College, Baramati. Now, I request Bansode sir to enlighten our students with his knowledge. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Yes, I think, just wait a minute. I think there is a light. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, now I think it's okay. Am I audible clearly?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir. Voice is breaking, sir.
I think,
Sir, your voice is a little bit low.
yes, there is a technical issue. Just I'm trying to sort it out. Just give me 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now whether it is, am I audible clearly now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the
Yes,
thing is
sir.
that I am just holding my mobile. It is too close to me. So now I'm, unable to turn on my camera. So sorry for that. So I thank you everyone. Okay, I am just, thankful. I'm very thankful to Honorable Principal Dr. Bijkar sir, all the respected HODs, and my guide over there from the engineering college, so that they gave me this opportunity to interact with the students of the first year. So I just want you to congratulate all and each and all of you.
Sir, your
Like,
voice is not clear.
you have got the admissions. Okay.
Sir, you are not audible.
Uh, just
So, Sonone sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Valke madam.
Yes, ma'am.
The session has started.
Actually, sir is not audible. So,
Yes,
certain technical issues will be there.
Bansode sir.
Bansode, sir. Sir.
Yes, he has sent a message. Kindly wait for some time. So maybe he's adjusting the camera
Hello.
and setups. Okay.
Hello.
So you're audible. You're audible, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Well, now. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. Sir? Bansodi, sir, you have muted yourself. Can you unmute?
Yes, madam. Yes, actually. Yes, the headphone which I'm having right now, they are not just working properly. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible now.
Okay. There is a. Okay. Yes, the problem is still there, but I'm just okay. Hello. Hello, madam. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I have connected a new headphones. Whether I'm audible right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're
Yeah,
audible.
Thank you. Yes. Sorry for the inconvenience. So I'm very thankful to Honorable Dr. Principal Dr. Biskar sir and all the respected HODs and my guides from the engineering college, so that they gave me the opportunity to interact with the students, bright minds. It is very, I can understand it is very difficult to get the admission in the engineering, because I one time when I completed my 12th, I was very determined to be admitted, to become an engineer, but the destiny has some different plans. Okay, nevertheless, I congratulate all the students who are here, so that they have made a very right choice for choosing this Vidya Pratishthan Kavalnayan Bajaj Institute of Engineering and Technology for pursuing their education in engineering. So today, let me made it clear. Let me make it clear that my particular speech today is divided into two parts. Firstly, we will discuss the importance of values in professional education, and in the latter part, we will discuss the sexual harassment of women at workplace, prevention, prohibition, and redressal act 2030. Now, basically, I just wanted to make it clear that this session is not going to be a very lengthy one. I can understand. I have been a student, and so I know the things. So don't worry. I belong to that particular section of the students. Whenever there are PPTs, so we always try to find out how much PPTs are there and which one is going on, whether it is first one of the 22 or 30, 40, whatever it may be. So I'm completing in a very few time, so don't worry. Okay. Now, my first topic, we will start discussing about the first topic, that is the importance of values professional education. The thing is that engineering, a very noble one, okay, as like the law, You might know that there are some in every educational field there are some stalwart or some figures which are there who have set some kinds of foundations regarding the etiquettes, the values of that particular profession. As far as engineering is concerned, Sir Moksha Gunda Vishwesharaya, we celebrate the engineering day. So there are certain people. Whenever you are speaking about doctors, the first name which shall come into your mind, that is Dr. Kotnis, who was from Solapur and who has dedicated his life in the service of the Chinese people in China. So as far as you are thinking engineering, so there are great names, some great names are there. So as far if you are looking into the legal field, so you will think about Justice Chandrachud, you will think about Justice PM Bhagwati. So the things are there. Now, as far as the values are concerned, because in this competitive world, money has become everything. Okay, people just want to earn money and they are measuring their success in terms of money. My thinking, my concern is there. I always believe, and whatever I have been taught, our teachers have taught us that the values are the real estate of the person. For example, now you are going to be the professional one. This education means after the completion of 4 years of intense and determined study, you all will become the engineer, maybe belonging to different trades like electrical, mechanical, computer, or anything else. But the thing is that when you belong to that particular section, like I always consider I belong to the clans of the poets, or if I belong to that particular legacy which I have, which is there in the field, legal field. So in the same way, you must think that you are not for the sake of earning money, but you have to carry forward the legacy which is there, the trust society has on you as a part of that particular family, the family of engineers, the persons who have changed the life. You are the person responsible to make life easier for the people. So just don't think that you are XYZ and you are the first person from your village you have become engineer, or your parents wanted you to become an engineer and now you are engineer. You are not, don't think in that way. You are the part of the such a great family which always worked for the society and which has, for example, I am communicating with you in this online mode. So who are responsible for this? There are certain great minds, ignited minds, who have certain kinds of innovation, and there are certain people working behind this also. So the thing is that values, when we consider the values, you cannot define it in a one particular definition, because the concept, it is a very great concept and it may change from place to place, time to time, person to person. But if you universally, if you think, I think values are the things which will enhance your worth as a human being, because humans are the social animals, we know. Yes. So basically, when you are living in the society, the respect which is earned by that particular thing. Now I just wanted to give an example. There are several doctors in our vicinity, but there is one who is not a very wealthy, but who always treats the people at a very low cost. So the respect, the amount of respect he has, it is much more higher than the person who is working in a very multi-specialty hospital, because nobody knows him. The thing is that I'm not against the making of money, but the thing that there must be something, a certain sort of principle, certain sort of self rule which shall govern you. A minimum standards should be maintained. Nowadays, we could find the corruptions and all kinds of illegal practices are there. Now the law is there to take care of it. But the thing is that it is not something like every time the law should not come into the picture. The moral ground should be as important as the legal one. The morality should be an instrument to regulate the society. And that is the thing, that is the importance of the values, ethics that should be taught to the students. So whenever they are going and whenever they are carrying on their business, their course of action, they should follow some kinds of rules, not because of the threat of the law, but of their own accord, of their own choice. The values are very important thing. As I made it clear, the value enhance your worth as a human being. There are certain examples I just wanted to quote. Lord Danning, it is a legal one. The example I'm giving, it is of the law field because I'm particularly from law field, so that is the example I can give. I wish I could give you the example from the engineering one, but right now I don't have it. So the thing is that there was a great figure in Indian history, Gopal Ganesh Agarkar, who was known as Sudarak. Now the thing is that when he met Lord Danning said to him, because he was a very great legal scholar, he said to him, though I may not agree with you, but I will fight until the last breath of my life to protect your right to say so. A very great sentence. A lot of meaning is there. So whatever he is saying, it is the crux, it is the base of the principles of natural justice. That he is saying, I am the authority, and I am not happy with what you are saying against us, but still, until the last breath of my life, I will protect your right to say so, because you have that particular fundamental right of speech and expression. So it is my duty to protect it also. So this is the values. Values teaches you the proper use of power. Values guides you a better way to implement your excellence. Values will definitely lead you on the path which is for the betterment of society at large. So never compromise with the values, and do have the values. And I am not saying that you do not have any. As a child, in the last, I think in the last 18 or 19 years, you might have come across with various kinds of people, various kinds of persons, and you might have learned something, great things. And as far as our history is concerned, there are lots of great personalities are there who have shaped the future of this particular country. So we can learn from them how we have to live, how we have to conduct ourselves when we are discharging our official functions, official duties. So, and as I said it earlier, so the definition could not, it is very difficult to have a definition for this particular term. But generally you can say values are those principles which are based on the morality and the religious sociological aspects of the society. So dharma, it was a very famous Sanskrit Shubhashit was there. Dharmo rakshiti rakshita. So that is, if you protect the dharma will protect you. And the dharma here is not the religion. Okay, I just wanted to make it clear that dharma here is not a religion. Dharma here is a duty. As a putra dharma, that is the duty of the son. Kshatriya dharma, that is the duty of the Kshatriya. So dharma here is the duty, and if you follow your duty, if you do your duty with sincerity, then that will protect you. Because it is like one's liability becomes others' right, and others' right will become the third person's liability. Right? Suppose you have the right to hear a lecture from me, so it is my obligation, it is my liability to deliver the lecture. Unless and until I deliver the lecture, your right of having the lecture on this particular topic will not be fulfilled. So it is a kind of cycle, and in a society, it goes on in this particular way. So somebody's right will become somebody's liability. Somebody's liability will become somebody's right. So if you are following your own terms, that will definitely, though while you are performing it, though it is limited to you, but the fruits will be there for the society at large. And you will not have any idea how much you are doing. It is a great relief. And that is in the national cause, I must say. It is not necessary every time to go to the borders and serve the country. Serve the country from where you are, from the perspective which shall be helped out to the nation, to the society, to each and every one who is dependent, who is near you. So these are the things, and I just, as I am a volunteer of National Service Scheme. And I just want to make an appeal that most of you must join the National Service Scheme, NSS, a very good initiative, okay, where you can understand more values regarding the more importance of the values in your professional, in your personal life also. The thing is that the journey which you have started now, in the coming 4 years, you will find out that you have become a very different person. Mark my words, otherwise you can just write a note and way of thinking, write just 2 pages, and after completion of 4 years, just look at whatever you have written, means what you want to do, how you are going to complete these 4 years. So just make a roadmap. And after completion of your 4 years and your degree, you will read and just write what you have actually did. You will find a terrific, tremendous difference. Because as you learn new things, you became a very nice person. You became a good citizen. And that is the real asset of the country. It is not like colleges and the educational institutions are not for just awarding you the degrees, but to make you a good citizen. And a good citizen must, it should not be the educated one, but the moral foundations of that person shall also be that much higher. So law cannot be the answer for each and everything, but the morality can. So that was the first half. I could, I just wanted to interact you with you on more on this particular topic. But the thing in the earlier there was some network issue problem was there. So just I had to shift on the second point of discussion for today. Okay, and I hope in future that honorable HODs and respected principal sir will give me an opportunity in future also. So maybe on that. Harassment of women at workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Acts 2013. And that is also very much related with the values, the upbringing and the principles of the persons. Now this act was passed in the year 2013. Earlier there was a very famous judgment you might search on the Google regarding Vishaka versus state of Rajasthan. So Vishaka was a NGO and they filed a case regarding the sexual harassment of women at workplace, and the guidelines have been framed by the Supreme Court in that particular case, and those guidelines and whatever the provisions are there in the convention, that is International Convention on the elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. This act that is called as Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013 has been passed. Now, basically, if you look into the act, it is a very short one actually. So it only consists of 30 sections. There are only 30 sections. Now, here, just we will discuss some basic concepts and definitions so that we will understand what the act relates and why they have used the terms prevention, prohibition and redressal. So firstly, what do you mean by aggrieved woman? So aggrieved woman means in relation to a workplace, a woman of any age, whether employed or not, who alleged to have been subjected to any kind of sexual harassment by the respondent. So that is the aggrieved woman. So, and now what do you mean by sexual harassment? It includes any one or more of the following unwelcome acts or behavior, whether directly or by implication, namely physical contact or advances, a demand or request for a sexual favor, making sexually colored remarks, showing pornography or any other unwelcome physical, verbal or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. So this amounts sexual harassment. Now basically, you cannot cast out the possibility of chances of one particular woman can be harassed at workplace, because still we are marching towards the welfare state. We are very not, we are not very close to that particular goal. And as far as the equality is concerned, which has been guaranteed under section Article 14 of the Constitution of India and Article 21, which provides us the right to live with dignity. So what do you mean dignity? Suppose I am delivering a lecture and one of you just commented like Pansode sir's phone is not good, his mobile is dabba, and he even don't have any good headphones. So that will hamper, don't you think it will hamper my dignity? So yes, it is correct that though my phone is dabba and though my headphones are not working, but still you cannot say so because it is my dignity. And as far as the Article 14, right to equality, that is equal protection of law and equality before law, and Article 21, right to live with the dignity. He cannot defame any person based on his financial status or any other ground, right? So basically, when this act was passed with the object to protect, to provide whatever the rights have been guaranteed by the Constitution, that is the grand norm, that is the law of this country, Constitution of India, under Article 21 and Article 14 to the woman at the workplace. So, as we made it clear, what do you mean by sexual harassment? So, lots of things have been included over there, whether it is a physical contact or the request for sexual favors. Any comments could also termed as sexual harassment. So, a very working, healthy, safe environment should be provided to the woman for working, because a right to work, it is the fundamental right, and to provide a safe, secure environment, it is the duty of the employer, so that their violation, the fundamental right, could not be violated of a woman. And lots of incidents have taken place, and for that, these acts actually not only take care, not only prevent the crime, but it also prohibits one. What is the difference between prevention and prohibition? Prevent means when it is happening, it will prevent it, and prohibition means it has become illegal now. It is illegal, and everybody knows if you are going to commit it, you are definitely going. The law will punish you. And redressal, if something has unfortunately happened, so the redressal mechanism has been in place. It is there. A total setup is there. What this act actually provides, this act says that an employer, it is the duty of the employer to provide a very safe environment for the women to for the working. And there is another requirement, that is they need to put a flex or notice on the notice board provisions of this particular act, that this going to be happen if you violate this particular thing. There shall be a committee, internal ICC, internal complaint committee should be there regarding the complaints for filing the cases in this particular matter. Then they have to display the penal consequences of the sexual harassment. The employer has to organize workshops and awareness program at a regular intervals for sensitizing employees with the provisions of this act. Because sometimes law is in its place, but we do not have any idea about it. So that might hamper. Even the women are not aware. If the women are not aware, to whom we shall approach, how it is going to work. There is a provision of the leave for women in this when there is this kind of complaint. Now the woman has to complain of this particular sexual harassment within 3 months after the date of incident, or if it is a continuous incident happening, so within 3 months from the last from the date when the last attempt has been made. And then they are entitled to have the leave from that particular work as far as the inquiry in that proceeding is going on. So the woman shall be must have that particular thing and this knowledge that they can do like this. And even all the members, all the employees shall have that this in their mind, that this is going to happen. So for this reason, the employer is under obligation, duties under section 19 to organize workshop and awareness program at a regular interval. Then the employer need to provide necessary facilities to internal committee regarding the complaints of the sexual harassment. Now, as far as sexual harassments are there, the very important committee here is the Internal Complaints Committee, ICC, Internal Complaints Committee, and it is the duty of the employer at every working place there shall be this particular committee shall be constituted, and it is there actually. If you carefully look, there might be one particular board, you will find it out, internal complaint committee for the sexual harassment, which it is there always, and it is mandatory. Now, this committee shall be constituted by the presiding officer, who shall be a woman employed at a senior level of the workplace among the employees. So the presiding officer of this committee shall be a woman, because it relates to the woman. So that presiding officer shall be a senior most woman employee. Then 2 members from the employees, preferably constituted committed to the cause of women and who had been experience of social work. Another 2 women shall be there who has experience in this particular matters, and 1 member from non-government organization, NGO or association, which are determined for the working for the betterment of women. So this is the constitution of that internal complaint committee, and which shall be there at every working place. And whenever any woman facing any kind of sexual harassment, it is not always deals with the physical acts, but the verbal acts also. Passing comments, taunts. Sometimes people take it very lightly, but it will going to have a very great consequence. So that is, the people need to be, understand what can actually happen and what could be. Once it has done, nobody can do anything. Sometimes people take it very lightly, and afterwards they face and they find it very difficult to handle. So the thing is that that is our duty also, to make them aware, not only to the women but to the all section of the society, that this are the provisions of this act, the sexual harassment of women at working place. And basically this act, and it is also very much important, because it deals with the fundamental rights of the person, and the fundamental rights, they are inherent rights. Nobody can give you the right, those fundamental rights. Nobody can take away from you. They are with you when you have taken birth as a human being. So they are inherent and untransferable. So as it is a matter of fundamental right, this particular act is very much important as far as the social welfare is concerned. And you must be aware of these things, that you should guide. And whenever something wrong is happening in front of your eyes, you must have that courage to raise your voice against that particular odd thing, and just try to explain. Now, this is the consequences. And law is there at its place. Now it is up to the people how they take help of the law to redress the problems arising out of the sexual harassment. So yes, I think there are 2 technicals and 2 legal terms are there, but I don't think I need to, that will take much time for explanation. But the, what you can say, general clauses I have mentioned. Section 9 deals with the complaints of sexual harassment, that I told you that within 3 months of time, the woman need to complain to the local committee or the internal complaint committee, which is there for this, for recording the complaints. So in this way, I think, yeah. So we will stop here. Yes. Anybody is having any problem or any question, doubt? Okay. So the forum is open. I would like to interact. I always like to interact with the students, and even the bright students. It is my perception, and not only mine, but engineering students are generally. I have some kind of fear also to give you the opportunity to ask the question, but still, I'm taking that risk. Yes. So if you have any doubts, questions, you may ask.
Yes, anyone having any doubt, you are free to ask, or otherwise you can post it in chat box.
And one more thing, I just wanted to say that download the act, okay? The Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act.
Sir,
PDF.
let me share the screen. Students, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We do
Yes,
have
ma'am.
internal complaint cell under the VPKB IT. If you go to institute and committee, so if you click on the committee, all the committees that are there in the institute, that are framed in the institution, will be visible. Just go to internal complaint committee. Okay, so internal complaint committee composition. If you go to composition, you will see the members of the internal complaint committee. You can file a complaint for the sexual harassment at workplace to any of the faculty or non-teaching faculty that are enlisted here. So this is the internal complaint committee of our institution. The head of this committee is myself and Professor Prachi Kale from Mechanical Engineering Department, Professor Madan Zadav from Electronics and Telecommunication Department, and Mr. Nitwe from Workshop Department, Mrs. Purnima Sarode from Library. And along with that, we also have student members in our committee, Miss Shreya Kadam, who is presently studying in third year engineering, and Miss Prachi Darekar, ME student, ME civil engineering student. So these two are the student representative, one from the undergraduate level and the other from the post-graduation level. So you can go to the website, and in this website, Sexual Harassment Act is also enlisted. You can see here the functioning, composition, registering a complaint, resource material. In the resource material, you will, if you click on the act, you will get the act. Okay. So, Bansode sir?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Yes, sir. We
Yeah.
already have internal complaint cell in our institution.
Yes, yes. Yeah, you know,
Yes.
it is mandatory also. And yes, just I wanted to make it clear and ask the student, appeal to the student that if anything wrong is happening, okay, it is our prime duty, fundamental duty to raise a voice against the wrong. Okay. Now, just I think Rohan Wable has raised the hand maybe before some time ago. If anything, any doubts? Okay, maybe you might be.
Yes, Rohan, do you have any question?
I think he may be asking whether it is there, this committee, ICC, is there in our college or not. So I think you have just explained everything. So that might be the question.
Maybe.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
any student, if you have any kind of queries related to laws, constitution, you can ask. Okay, students are asking for attendance link. Attendance link is already there in the chat box.
Ma'am, it is not working.
Is it not working?
Yes, ma'am. It is not working. It is not opening.
Attendance link for session 3. You have to click. Attendance session for session 3. It is there here.
Working,
Is
ma'am.
it? So might be
Sir?
you. Yes.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Can I speak?
Yes. Yes.
Sir, does stalking someone online or messaging them constantly comes under sexual harassment?
Yes, definitely. The thing is that this particular stalking online, that there are two forms of stalking right now. IPC deals with stalking in a physical form, and as far as the online stalking is there, that you are repeatedly sending offensive messages to somebody, that will come under the IT Act 2000. Okay, and that is also a crime. Basically, because of this advancement in the cyber crime, there is online facility also. You can report the number online. The cyber cell, okay, of the police department has the online facility where you can register your complaint. Now, for the woman, there are various platforms where you can register your complaints online. Either you can register a complaint on the cyber cell online portal, or there is a national women commissions, like National Women Commission is there. They are also taking care of these things. There also you can complain, or the state commissions are there. Even the Human Rights Commission, National Human Rights Commission, which is there also you can register. Okay, so definitely it will. And even if somebody is sending you the unwanted message on WhatsApp also, there are also report and block system is there. You might be aware, right? So whenever you are reporting it, they ask whether what kind of content is that, whether it is offensive, sexual, or any advertisement, or some kind of spam, or whatever it may be. So you can just register it. No, and I must say that do not stop on the means by reporting on WhatsApp only. You can just take the screenshot and you can register that particular number and complain online. And as you are complainant, it is not sometimes people think why to complain and why to take the step further. But as far as law is not for the making your life difficult. It is to make the life easy. So always keep this particular thing in your mind. And I must say that do not what you can say, passive, or just let it be. So you have to take the legal action if something wrong is happening. So the law is there, the constitution is there, and you have to take the legal action. Yes.
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, sexual harassment can only occur in the workplace during working hours.
No, that is not important. That is not necessary. Yes, I forgot to mention that earlier question, that this act is talking about the sexual harassment at workplace. So it generally covers the working place and the employers and employees. But basically, sexual harassment is not only limited to the working place, right? It can happen everywhere, in the bus or on the street, anywhere. Now, as far as this question is concerned, suppose we take the example that there is one employee, and the employer is there, or any kind of co-employee, colleague is there. So it is not necessary that it will happen at the workplace. If they are at home, or way back to home, or even in the late nights, for official work, they can message, and even in that particular way of communication or any other means, if they try to act in that particular context, then it will definitely going to be fall under the definition of sexual harassment.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, any other questions are there?
Yes, Valki madam, you can proceed. vote
Thank
of
you,
thanks.
sir. I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our guest who have spared time from his busy schedule to grace the today's program. Thank you, sir, for sharing with us your opinion and finding this present time. Today, we have got a lot of information which truly help us in our life. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bansode sir, for
Thank you, madam.
for giving your time, even though you were on leave and out of station. You helped our students out with all the session. Thank you.